People, Deluded, I'm back again. Good morning and thank you very much for tuning back in. Did I say that fast enough for some people that say I talk too fast? Can you imagine some people say I talk too slow? I can't please everybody. This is how I talk. This is what it is, people. Moving on, Arsenal in the second game of the new 2019-20 season on Saturday play at home to Burnley. Now, of course, our season started last week against Newcastle. End of the day, it was fantastic to just get an away victory, to keep a clean sheet, to equal our away record for clean sheets from last season. And most importantly, like I said, go away from a tough ground and walk away with 3 points. Yes, it's early in the season. And away from just that, what I've just said, we know after Burnley, I'm so sure, forgive me if I'm wrong, it's Liverpool, Spurs, or I'm so sure it's Liverpool, then Spurs. Either way, we've got top 6 clashes to come. Then September, we've got to go to Old Trafford away, a ground where we could have taken 3 points there last season, but we haven't had much joy, specifically in the Premier League there. The last time we won there was what? When Adebayor or Gilberto Silva scored. That tells you everything. United haven't been the United of old. We've seen Wolves and them team there go to Old Trafford. We haven't put in a performance. If you want to get top 4, we know we have to win these sort of games. Top 6, we did quite well against the top 6 by Arsenal standards last season. But it's about consistently improving, and it's about taking these points, no disrespect to Burnley, against teams like Burnley. Now, don't let me undersell Burnley. We know when Arsenal play Burnley, we know what to expect. They're a hard-working side that's going to take the advantage of set pieces, dead ball situations, early whipped crosses in behind. There's going to have to be a lot of aerial defence and a lot of remaining rigid and holding our shape. And obviously with that, in regards to Burnley, again, we know they're going to be difficult to break down. They're going to make it tough for us to break them down. If you look at some of the games that we played against Burnley home and away, it typically consists of a period where we're either sustaining pressure or they're sustaining pressure without the breakthrough. Typically in the last couple of games, you've seen it come in the second half, where there's been a decent amount of goals for both sides collectively in the second half. So we know Burnley are going to be a tough side, and they're going to be bullish. They won 3-0 against Southampton last week. It's the start of the season. I don't know what Burnley want to achieve as a club, but I know when you look around at the managers and the squads, Burnley, they've got Sean Dyche, who's been there for a while. He knows his players. They know him. They fight for him. Obviously, that's going to make it harder for them. For us, we know what to expect with Burnley. They're not coming to play football in the sense of trying to outplay us with all the Arsenal sort of stuff, because they've said they're not good enough for that. Sean Dyche has said. So they're going to maximise on other things. Our lack of, well, apparently based on last season, our lack of defensive know-how, our defensive frailties, it's going to be a tough game. And if these boys want top 4, it's games like this they have to win, people. We need to put a run of form together. If we can't put a run of form together, we need to be in a position where I don't want to lose to Liverpool or Spurs, but if something happens in them games, we've got 6 points off the mark for the season. Like I said, we're playing at home as well, so if nothing more, we just want to give the fans something, because obviously the season started last week, but for the teams that played away from home, we know this week is really when it starts, because you're at home, you're at your base and whatnot. Yeah, people have been to the Emirates with the Emirates Cup and that, but it's the Premier League. So I hope for a convincing victory, of course. I hope the fans are rewarded that are going to the game with a victory. Sadly, I'm not going to the game. My shifts have actually been changed. I'm going to have to work a couple of Saturdays now, which is quite the spanner in the works in regards to my YouTube stuff and whatnot. But it is what it is. I will review the game and I will watch it, and you get it when you get it. I'm just letting you lot know that I obviously won't be at the game or be able to watch it. So we're going to need to remain rigid defensively as well. And even if you look at this, people, I think I screenshotted it. The left-hand side, which would be our right-hand side, is a particular area of interest for us, Arsenal, because last season 41% of all of Burnley's attacks came down their left-hand flank. Only 26% came in the middle and 33% down the right-hand side. So I'm not going to say they don't use the right-hand side, but what did I tell you? They put balls in. On either side, they have the highest percentages. They've got 26% playing in the middle. They're not going to try and come here and play us, outpass us and things like that. They will play if we give them the opportunity, of course, and they're not bad footballers, but they're not going to try and beat Arsenal with that, because we have technical better players. Even the players that divide opinions like Xhaka and whatnot, Guendouzi's a baller, any midfielder we put, even the poorest of options, like, I might be reaching a bit, but you'd like to even think El Nene, who shouldn't be at the club come the end of the window, would they be able to shine technically against Burnley's midfielders? No disrespect to them or him. So we know not only are we gonna need to watch set pieces, whoever is playing on the flanks, whether that's a striker put out there, they're gonna have to do their fair share of defending down the right hand side or the left. They're gonna have to follow their runners, to which is why I probably wouldn't go with Mkhitaryan. I know Aubameyang doesn't always track his runners and whatnot, and I'd probably play Pepe on the right hand side, but I'm sure Emre's got to have considered the idea of, because their new left back Eric Peters got 2 assists last week, kind of filtering in to what I'm saying about the left back role, the left hand side role. If we was to put, for example, Aubameyang out there, the left back would still go forward from Burnley, but he'd have to think, yo, Aubameyang's quick, he's a potent striker who's top goal scorer last season. I'm not trying to embarrass myself. Let me stay in defence. That would discourage him from going forward and whatnot. These are the sort of things. Of course, I would probably play Pepe on the right hand side, but I'm just saying, surely that's gone through Emre's thinking, and Maitland-Niles is going to have to be on top of his game, because the majority of attacks based on last season are going to be down the left hand side. All right, so we're really going to need to be at it, people, really and truly. So we have to see what he's saying. Obviously, they've got guys like Dwight McNeil, positive left winger, can play on either side, will try and have a goal. They've obviously got Barnes and whatnot, players that can score, and players that can take advantage. We know Burnley home and away, they don't make it easy for us. Last season we won 3-1 and whatnot, and we scored 2 goals in the second half, forgive me if I'm wrong, before they made it 2-1 and then Ketia scored. So the second half is going to be vital, people. Of course, in an ideal world, I would love to go out there from the minute it kicks off, get a goal within the first 10 minutes. They have no choice but to kind of come forward. We sit back, we hit them on the counter. Not hit them on the counter, I'm not saying counter-attack against Burnley, but pre-season I saw good elements of our counter-attack in play. So I'd like to continue that. Go 2-0 in up at half-time, and then try and pile on more pressure in the second half. Of course, the game typically isn't going to go that way. Just even if you look at the last 2 games, people, when we went to their place in May, Aubameyang obviously scored twice in the second half, 52nd and 63rd minute respectively. Barnes scored in the 65th, before Eddie and Ketia obviously scored in added on time. Now that game was a bit different. Burnley will take advantage if you give them it, because we had 17 shots, they had 14, we had 6 on target, they had 5. Of course, they're not on the same level as us in terms of technically gifted, so there's got to be a bit of a gulf in possession. Us was 61%, while theirs was at ours is at 61%, while theirs is at 39. 341 passes to our 533. Our passing accuracy was at 86% to their 77%. So we know what to expect. And if you look at the game in last December, we had 11 shots to their 7. They only had 2 on shots. We had 6 on target. 61% possession to their 39. 500 odd passes to their 300 odd passes. Again, we scored at 86% possession, and they had passing accuracy, and they had better passing accuracy, 71%. But if you look at it again, people, there was 3 goals in the second half. But obviously Aubameyang made us take the lead with the 14th minute strike. Technically we was winning 2-0 at a point when he scored in the 48th, before obviously Barnes scored in the 63rd, and then Iwobi scored and added on time. So the second half is one of great importance, and one we're going to need to watch seriously and whatnot, people. So I want us to go and do our thing. But I guess lastly would be the team lineup. Now I would go with Leno in 4-3-3. I would go with Leno in goal. I would go with David Luiz. I think David Luiz should play. I'll go with David Luiz and Callum Chambers, but it's likely to be Luiz and Socrates. I feel Chambers deserves to keep his spot. So personally, I will go with Leno, Monreal. I know Kolasinac is technically back in training, but Leno, Monreal at left back. Centre half in Chambers, David Luiz. Right back's going to have to be Maitland-Niles. In midfield, I'm going to go with Torreira. I would like to go with Torreira and Guendouzi, but I'm going to go with what Emery is going to go with, which is likely to be Xhaka and Torreira. I believe Ceballos should play in this sort of, if it's not a 3-man in midfield, the 10 sort of position. Up front, I'm going with Aubameyang, Lacazette and Pepe. I don't care how you fit them in, just fit them in. I think that's a good attacking side. At home would give Burnley issues to think about. Don't want to drop Reece Nelson or Joe Willock. I think they deserve to keep their spots. I'm just dying to see Pepe. In regards to Pepe's fitness levels, and if him, Luiz and Ceballos will start, I don't know, people. Only Emre does, but that's the team I'd like to see on the bench. Obviously, I'd like to see Martinelli, Joe Willett, Reece Nelson. I'd love to see Tyrese John Jules on the bench as well, and whatnot. The only question marks I have with my own lineup is probably Xhaka and Socrates. I feel Chambers done a bit better than Socrates, and he deserves to stay there. But if I'm realistic, Emre's probably looking to move forward with Socrates and Luiz, at least for this season, in terms of experience and competencies and whatnot. So that would probably be it. I think Xhaka, I wouldn't play Xhaka, but Xhaka has been captain in the side and is likely to be our official captain when that announcement comes. So he's going to play significantly. Like I said, I'd rather go with Guendouzi and Torreira. I think they're a bit more mobile against Burnley, but Xhaka's likely to play. On that note, I don't think I have anything else to add, people. So in regards to the Arsenal versus Burnley preview, people, Deluded, thank you for watching. I have nothing more to add. Peace out.